Hello everyone, I am Jeff Lehman, an instructor for the Herman Art Resource Center at JVS Human Services. In today's work from home environment, it's especially important to boost your technology skills for increased productivity and better job opportunities. This is why we have created our webinar series, The Modern Toolkit. Our webinars will be uploaded weekly to the JVS Human Services Facebook page. Continued learning through the Herman Art Resource Center is a great solution for your training needs. Now is the time to take advantage of our webinars and online learning through Ed2Go. If you have any questions about today's training or other resources available through JVS, please post them in the comments section or email me at hermalort@jvshumanservices.org. And at the end of this presentation, I will have that email address as well as a phone number available for you. So welcome everybody to LinkedIn Fundamentals Part 1. Okay, what exactly is LinkedIn? Okay, LinkedIn is an American business employment-oriented online service that operates via websites and mobile apps. It was founded on December 28, 2002, and it was launched live on May 5th, 2003. Basically, what it is you can think of LinkedIn as your online resume, but it has more features than just an online resume. It allows you to look for jobs. It allows you to connect with other people. There's a lot of networking abilities that you can do, and it's just a really great service. And it's so important that now employers are asking for your LinkedIn site. So it's getting to be pretty commonplace, sort of like a business card. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want to get out of this screen here in the show. And I'm actually going to get over to LinkedIn here. And what we're going to do when we go to LinkedIn is that we are going to set up a whole LinkedIn account, from the uploading of the resume to the inputting of the information to setting the settings on it, skills, endorsements, all of that kind of thing. Because not only with LinkedIn can you upload your resume, but people can like your skills and your abilities, sort of like a Facebook like. And I think maybe Facebook might have taken the idea from LinkedIn, being that LinkedIn has been around, well, it was around a year way before Facebook came around in 2004. So let us go to LinkedIn, and we're actually going to upload a fake resume, of course. For example here, so LinkedIn.com, where we want to go. We have a site, so I'm not going to sign in. I'm going to go join now, because what I want to do is I want to go through the steps of you as a brand new user of LinkedIn can go through to upload your resume, either upload it or fill out the form with the input all the information you have, add your picture, and a lot of other cool features that we will go over. So first thing I'm going to do is click join now. And if I wanted to, I could join with my Facebook credentials. By clicking on continue with Facebook, it would grab my Facebook logon, my Facebook password, and it would log me on that way. Instead, what I'm going to do here is I am going to just put in my JVS Human Services password. I'm going to make up a password here. Okay. And then agree and join. And if you want to read their privacy policy, their cookie policy, or their agreement policy before you sign, you can click on that and read it as well. I'm just going to click agree and join. And now I'm going to put in my name. Okay. Now I'm putting in a fake account here, so this is not going to be real. So my name is going to be Jeff Job Seeker. Okay. Click continue. We're doing a quick security check here. Now, I will go through the steps of what's going to happen here. Now, please solve this puzzle so we know you're a real person. Yes, they go through this so that they don't have hackers and that of the like, you know, trying to take information. So this is the way that it actually figures it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click verify and go pick the Spiral Galaxy. It's this one right here. Okay, someone's already using that email. Aha. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is put in another email here. You can only have one email per LinkedIn for a new person. It's going through the security check again. It's going to go through this. Pick the Spiral Galaxy. It used to be right here, right? It's right here. Okay, let's see if we're good to go. And we are, yay, we're in. Okay, so right here, it's picking the country of origin, the postal code, and the location. Now, basically, how did it know that this information is mine? Because it's looking at the ID on the computer, okay? So if you're on another computer, it might grab something else. So it's, you know, basically whoever's computer you're using, you know, it would grab the information of that user. So I can change this to say Metropolitan Detroit if I want. If I don't want to exactly give away the city of where I'm at, that's entirely up to you. Right here, it's asking if it wants me to save the password. You can click yes, or save rather, or never. I don't usually like to do that. I'm going to click never. And then I'm going to click next. Most recent job title. Okay. Instructor. For me personally, whatever it happens to be for you is entirely up to you. Employment type. Okay, you can fill out, or actually you can click whatever it is you're doing, if you're full-time, part-time, self-employed, whatever it happens to be, but there's nothing wrong with leaving that blank. Remember, you're only going to put out the information that you want people to see. You might not want people to know you're only working part-time or that you're working full-time or seasonal or whatever. Okay, that's totally all right. And if you want to change it later, you can go back in and change it later. And that's the really cool thing about LinkedIn is that after you put everything in, if you want to go back and change it, you're more than welcome to do it. Most recent company. Okay. JVS Human Services. Okay. Whatever. You could also say you're a student. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to continue here. Select the industry. You have your choice of a lot of industries here that you can choose from. Okay. All right. So whatever you wanted to choose, you could do so. We're just going to say education management. I can choose nonprofit, whatever it happens to be. Continue. Okay, now what happens is they send a code to your phone. Oh, to your email. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do is go over to my email. I don't use this email account often, but I am using it for the setup of this webinar here. Sign in. LinkedIn message. Okay, so I'm going to write the PIN down. Now, this is a fake account, so I'm totally okay with showing the PIN. I wouldn't normally do something like this, but like I said, it's a fake account, so I don't have a problem with showing the PIN. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go back to LinkedIn here and put in the PIN. And now I agree and confirm. And once again, if you wanted to read the policy, you can. Are you looking for a new job? Now I can answer yes, or I can answer not now. And we can even change that if we wanted to. What I'm going to say though is yes. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because for you guys out there, more than likely you're in the process of looking for a job, and using LinkedIn to do so is going to be extremely important to you. So if I say yes, what it's going to do is it's going to open up a lot of the settings of where we can set LinkedIn to look for employment. I'm going to click yes. Search for a job you're interested in. Okay, I could leave that to say instructor. I could change it. I could say search jobs. We can do that now, but we're going to do that later because I really want to focus on getting LinkedIn set up right now. It doesn't make any sense to look for the jobs now when we don't even really have an account properly set up yet. So we're going to skip it for now, and we can always go back to that. Okay, so it's showing jobs here. Now what I'm going to do is I want to get to the shell of the account here. Okay, so here we are. Now you can always go to your online shell, which is where we're going to put all the resume information and the introductory information and the picture and all of that stuff by clicking on me right up here. Okay, so right now all we have is kind of a blank shell. We don't have a lot of information in it. It's just kind of really kind of plain Jane. So what we want to do is we want to kind of jazz this up a bit here. If I scroll down, it's got my name. It already put my name in there, and it already has the first place that I work. And we're going to put stuff beyond that. Contact information. You can click contact information, put in. Now you already have a LinkedIn profile here just by virtue that you made an account. So what you can do is you can copy that link right there, put it in your resume, hard copy resume or whatever, or, you know, send it to people perhaps that are asking for it. It's really important to have that on your hard, when I say hard copy, I mean a hard copy that you'd print out, or an electronic resume, you know, that you send or attach, that sort of thing. Okay. Now, it's entirely up to you whether you want to put a picture or not. I usually like to do that because I think it makes the account look more legitimate if there's a picture. Plus, it adds a little personality to your resume. You can also add a picture to the background. So maybe you are in broadcasting and you want to show yourself behind a microphone in a broadcasting booth. You could do that, or an engineer, you know, on a CAD design system, you know, doing something. So I would do something that really complements the type of work you are looking for. Okay, and make sure, obviously, that the picture looks professional and that it's a very high quality picture. You wouldn't want to put up something that looks pixelated and kind of sloppy or kind of half kilter. So you're going to want to go present yourself in the best way possible. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to add a picture. So to do that, I click on the little camera right here. Now I can click on use camera, and what that's going to do is it's going to snap a picture of me right now. I have my webcam set up, so it would use the webcam to snap the picture. I could do that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to upload a picture that I had taken of me. So I click upload. And then I'm going to go to my desktop here. Pictures, and I'm going to this one right here. Okay, now if I wanted to, I can actually edit the photo. This is the photo in its raw form, but I can zoom it in, zoom it out, straighten it out if I want to. And then down below here, what you have, you can crop the picture, filter it, adjust it. I'm going to click on filter for a second. So it's a color picture, but if I wanted to make a black and white, I could. I'm not really crazy about the way that looks. I'm going to actually go with Studio here. It kind of gives myself a little bit of a tan there. Looks kind of nice. And visibility, you can change who sees the picture too. My connections, my network, all LinkedIn members. I leave it on public. I figure if somebody's coming to my LinkedIn site, I don't care, if I know them or not. They can see my picture. It's fine. All right. So by default, it stays on public right there. Click that. All right. Now you have to scroll down here a bit and click Save Photo. Now the cool thing is, let's say a bunch of years pass, the hairstyles have changed, and the picture's looking kind of old. I don't really look like that anymore, and it's not a good representation of me. I could click Change Photo anytime I want and change the photo. Entirely up to me. But right now, we're going to click on Save Photo. Okay, so now we have a photo. All right, and entirely up to you if you want to change the background here. Like I said, just be careful that you choose something extremely professional and that complements the type of work you're going for. If you are a teacher, instructor, a picture, although I don't have one to put up there, I could put a picture up of me in a classroom or teaching people, that sort of thing. Okay. Now, this little pencil right here is always going to allow you to edit, and we're going to see how that'll come into play. As I scroll down here, our profile strength is just at beginner. It's at beginner because we haven't loaded practically anything in to our LinkedIn shell. And as we do, what will happen is this will go from beginner to intermediate to advanced. And advanced would be somebody who has all their work loaded in, you have contacts, you've become a power user of LinkedIn. Okay, so right now, we have JVS Human Services in there. Now, the plus sign here will put another service in. The pencil, like I said, will always edit. So maybe you want to put more information in here. I'm going to click the plus sign. Location, Southfield, Michigan. Sounds good. I am currently working in this role. I can put a start date. Okay. And description. Always a good idea to put a description. Now I'm going to keep mine kind of plain just for the sake of example, but okay. Teach Microsoft and business classes. You don't want to really go into a huge song and dance, but I would, on my site, you'll see that it's more than just this that I have on there. The longer you make it, the more they have to read, the more they might bypass, your site. So you want to kind of use it judiciously, enough to grab their attention, but not so much that it's a novel. And keep it short, keep it sweet is the way to do it. This is a little too short, I think, but I'm just trying to squeeze it all into the small little amount of time we have for the video here. Okay, so click Save. Great progress is telling me. Okay, thank you for that. I'll scroll down here. Now, I want to add another position. Okay, so I click here. And company. Oh, let's just make up a name of a company. computer service. Southfield, Michigan. Okay. Well, let's just say I was there from August 2007. All right, and I still work at this position now. And unless you put in an end date, it's going to put present. And the cool thing is, with the years here, it's constantly calculating those on its own. You don't have to do that. So if I'm still working at this position at JBS Human Services 2 years from now, and I haven't quit or been fired or whatever, this will say 4 years. So it's automatically going to update for you based on that. Okay, description. So maintain computers. Now, this is fake. I don't even know if a place called Joe's Computer Service exists, so whatever. Now, I'm going to click Save. Now, here's the thing, too. You could put a link in there if you want to put a link in so that somebody can see work you've done, or it'll link to something that's important. You can do that as well. You can upload media, photos, video presentations. Let's say you're trying to get a job as a speaker, and you want to upload a presentation that you gave. You're very proud of it. This is a really good spot to put it. You can upload it because this way somebody's reading your resume, boom, they can go right to the presentation and see what kind of job you did. So it's an excellent thing. You could also upload a resume. The only thing is, warn you about uploading a resume. It's only going to go in there as a little icon, so there's a possibility they could pass it over. Instead, I would rather fill out this information in the form. I know it seems kind of tedious, but you'll be glad you did. All right, now I'm going to click Save. Oh, I forgot to put my title here. Computer. I was going to put repairman, but look, it says computer repair technician. I've never been a computer repair technician, just to let you know. This is all fake. Employment type. Okay. For this, we're just going to say full-time. Like I said, you can leave it blank. If you leave it blank, it's not going to show up that you skipped that portion. What will happen is it just won't show up. It won't say if it was full-time or part-time or whatever. Come down here, I click Save. And there you go. Okay, we are scrolling along here. Now, right here, sometimes what it'll do is it'll hide some of the items that you've put in. It doesn't mean they're not there. It just means to show one more experience, and if somebody wants to see it, they could see that. Okay, show fewer experiences. So now it's starting to really take hold here, okay? By the way, too, you also have a dashboard. It'll tell you who viewed your profile. If you uploaded an article, which you can do, you can also blog on that. We will get to that in another episode here. Article views, search appearances, so it'll keep track of that. Now, who viewed your profile? If you click on it, it'll tell you who viewed your profile, but sometimes people will be viewing your profile in what is called privacy. So they want to look at your profile, but they don't want you to know that they looked at it. Okay, so employers will sometimes do that because if they knew everyone who looked at the profile, if somebody was able to see that, you'd call them up, hey, I see that you were looking at my profile the other day, and that might not be what they want. They might want to look at it in private. So they have the option of doing that too. So you might click on this and it'll say, so-and-so looked at your profile and so-and-so, it won't say the person's name, it'll say a user of LinkedIn looked at your profile in private mode, and you can't find out who that person is. You can find out who those private people are, but it will cost you a little extra. That's an enhanced part of the service, okay? The LinkedIn I'm showing you is the free service. The paid LinkedIn service gives you more options, and that would be one of the options. So you could see anybody that viewed your profile. Okay. Coming down here, what we are going to do is actually, let's see where we're at here with regards to this. We've gone up to intermediate. Okay, we can add education. So now what will happen is, the cool thing about LinkedIn is that it always kind of guides you along as to what you need to add. So I'm going to click Add Education. And let's just say, okay, and by the way, I typed a little bit of Central Michigan University. I added to the profile. From what year? Let's pick the span here. Click Save. Field of study. Business Administration and Management. Degree. I was going to put master's degree, and I am. I click Done, and the cool thing is, it even puts in the little icon of the college. So that's cool because you don't have to do it, it does it for you. Okay. Now, I could put in more schools. Generally speaking, I would put in schools of colleges, trade schools, anything of that nature. Avoid high school. It's not going to be as important to an employer as what you did after that towards your career. Things that really go towards your career. Okay, some may argue with me that point, but generally speaking, that's common knowledge in the job search arena. Add 5 skills. Okay, so what I can do is I can pick from the skills they have. Project management, I click this plus sign. Training. Okay, let's say I want to add a skill. I can type it in and add it. So you're not stuck with what they have here. And the more skills you add, the better, I think. Presentations. Instruction. Okay, problem solving. Okay, and you can go on and on and on and on. So you might want to get creative. Think about everything you know how to do, things you've did in your other positions, things you're really good at, and I would make a list of them before you even tried to build your LinkedIn site. Because if you can just go and boom, 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 add them in there really quick, you're going to be building this site a lot quicker. So I think the planning is key, and doing as much preparation as possible, maybe even having your resume right in front of you as you're doing it is extremely important. Add to profile. Okay, click Done. And we did that. Now, you could create a job alert. Get notified about new jobs. Now, I'm going to leave this to say instructor. Okay, down here, if I leave it to say Warren, what it's going to do is it's, going to only pick jobs in that area. So let's just say Detroit. All right, and then what it'll do, Detroit metropolitan area is what I'm going to have it say. Okay, so by saying Detroit metropolitan area, it's not going to be just Detroit. It'll take in the suburbs and the whole surrounding area. Okay, so instructor, I can also, put more things in here if I want to. Instructor, education, whatever. All right, create a job alert. Now, what's going to happen when I create that job alert is that it's going to send me alerts for jobs with regards to these titles that are out there and it's going to send it to my email. Okay, so even though we're creating this in LinkedIn, the site is linked to your email, so you will get a bunch of job alerts. Now, since I created this with a Gmail account, these job alerts are going to go to my Gmail account. So you might want to be aware of that if you have more than one account, email account rather. Okay. Right, now down below here, we've gone to intermediate. You can put a summary in if you want to. Talk about your experience, kind of wrap it up. They used to call that the objective back in the day about resumes. We're going to skip that for right now, but you can add that. You can even add it later if you want. Okay, that's the cool thing. So now we're coming down below here. Now skills and endorsements. Take a skill quiz. Well, you can do that. We're not going to do that for right now, just for time's sake. And then it would show the results. Hopefully the results are good there. And remember, you can always add more to it. That's not really a whole heck of a lot of skills. I would probably add more, and you could click on the pencil or click on add new skill. They're both going to do the same thing. Of course, the pencil will always, like I mentioned before, give you editing ability, so you can do that. Salary insights, see how your salary compares to others in the community if you wanted to do that. Now, that wouldn't be something you'd post or you'd want to post necessarily, but you could see how you stack up. I don't know. I didn't use that because I feel like that information I could go online and get it. You know, don't have to necessarily go through LinkedIn to get, but it may be something you like. You can do it. All right, so we have all of that in here. Now up here, I wanted to point this out here. Your job alert has been created. Building your network. Home will always take you home here to the home page. My network. One of the important things of LinkedIn is creating a network. Now, a network are people. And just like in Facebook, like you have friends, your network are what are called connections. A connection is a friend. So you reach out to them and you say, hey, I would like to connect with you. If the person says yes or clicks on yes, then they're your connection and they're in your network. Now, why is that important? Because you can add people or potentially add them into your network that can help you find employment. Maybe it's a big shot at a company or an industry that you work in. Okay, so if you're going into finance and you wanted to add Warren Buffett, I'm just using him as an example. Okay, if he said yes, he'd be a heck of a connection. So you can have connections and connections, and the whole thing is too, you can even use LinkedIn to put out blogs or to contact these people. And you know, networking, of course, they say is the most important thing when you are looking for a job. Jobs, right here, this would be jobs that you are searching for. Okay, and what it does is it'll look at your profile and it'll bring up a bunch of things here. Ramonian speaker, transcribers, I don't know why I picked that, but it did. Customer service, logistics. So sometimes it looks at things from a really wide brush, but it's trying to focus in on what you have on your site. So you put education, you know, whatever search criteria you put in, you can even put in search criteria here and click search, and it's going to go out there and it's going to search for you. Okay, applied jobs would be jobs that you applied for through LinkedIn. Okay, now there's nothing in here right now. Okay, messaging. This is your email portion of LinkedIn. People can send you messages just like they can send you messages on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. Well, you can do the same thing here. Your notifications are things that you have set. Okay, your notifications, sometimes you might want to get an alert. Now, the cool thing about LinkedIn, it's also an app. So you can get job alerts to your email. You can get alerts on your phone. I get them on my phone, and it also will tell me who has sent me a message. So the messages show up on the phone. You can turn those notifications on, or you can turn them off. It's entirely up to you. Now, one thing I want to get to is right here computer repair technician at Joe's Computer Service. So this was the last position. I could change it to say something else if I wanted to. All right. Settings and privacy is what I want to get to, though. I'm going to click on settings and privacy here. You can change how others see your profile. Okay, you can control what they see, what they don't see. And edit your profile. What you're seeing on the screen are the default settings, but going into that section, clicking on change, I can edit contents. Okay, edit my contact information. I'm going to actually click back here. Your profile's public visibility. Okay, it's on. LinkedIn members directly connected to you can see your profile photo. So if I wanted to do that, I could. I mentioned that earlier. Your past experience. So if there was something you didn't want people to see. Now, right here, it's defaulted to public. If I want just the LinkedIn members to see that, I choose this. If it's just the people that are my connections, people I've added, and I don't want anyone else to be able to see this, that, or the other thing, I could click on that as well. Profile photo, let's say maybe I don't want people that are not my first degree connections to see it. I could click that. So you can turn things on or turn them off, however you want to do that. Who can see your email address? You can change that as well. Okay, maybe I don't want my email address being public. I don't really have an issue with that personally, but I know some people do. They have some privacy issues, and that's completely understandable, especially with a lot of the scammers out there and the hackers. You know, you don't want your email address necessarily being put on a platter for them to take. Representing your, so all of this stuff can be turned on or off. How others see your activity. Okay, your activity would be stuff that you have going on, that you went to this site, that you went for this job. So all of that stuff. Share job changes. So as you change jobs and all of that stuff, you can put it on LinkedIn. Change it. Okay, so the share job changes, work anniversaries. By default, it's on yes. You could change that to say no. Okay, your salary data, entirely up to you on that one. I don't think that's a very good idea to put your salary data on, but that's entirely up to you. I never think it's good policy to put those kind of numbers on a resume, or especially on something like LinkedIn, what the whole world can see. But that's your call on that. But they give you the option of being able to do that if you want. Your commute preferences. So these are all your job preferences and stuff. Now you also can block and hide, just like you can on your phone and other things. And, you know, in a nutshell, LinkedIn is a social media site. So you can do all of these things that you can do on other things as well. Followers, choose those who can follow you and see your public updates. Now, I leave mine just defaulted to anybody because, to me, the networking component of this is extremely important, and I want people to see my updates, to be able to follow me, see what I'm doing, because really the only people that I added as connections are people I want to do business with anyway. So, you know, it's entirely up to you who you add as a connection. See who you've unfollowed. You can unfollow people if you want to. It's entirely up to you. All right. Once you've added them. How LinkedIn uses your data. Manage your data and your activity. Get a copy of your data. Manage who can discover your profile from your phone number. Maybe you want to kind of block it. Now you can also sync your contacts and sync your calendar, and it syncs with your Outlook. And it'll also sync with your contacts in Outlook too. So that is very cool. And I did that, and it went in there and took and, you know, added people as connections as I wanted to. Your search history, your job preferences, that sort of thing. Okay. Let me just kind of recap, see if there's anything else I want to go over here with regards to this. Okay. That's about what we're going to go over with regards to today. Oh, one other thing. Yes, I wanted to actually. We will cover that next time. Basically, next time, what I want to do is I want to go over the connections. I want to go over people liking you, people recommending things for you. People can actually recommend, give you skills and endorsements for things. Actually, we will go over that right now. What am I saying? Okay. So I'm actually going to go here and I'm going to sign out here for a minute. I want to go into my own personal account for a second here. I want to show you some things. Here's my own personal LinkedIn account. Does that guy look familiar? All right. So down below here, I have everything in, and it shows my activity. It shows my followers. These are just people that follow me. It doesn't really mean much more than that. It's just that I've added them as connections and they've continued to follow me. So I haven't angered them, I guess, in any way, shape, or form. It has in here my experience, and like I said, you can always change that. And I can move things around too, if I wanted to. Now down below here is my education skills. Now, people have endorsed me for skills. So what you can do is you can actually have people do that. Public speaking. I can ask for a recommendation. Click on that, and what will happen is, who do I want to ask? And I could type in somebody's name. If they give me a recommendation, it goes here. It shows their face and that sort of thing. Okay, it's really good to have that. So that's like having your letters of recommendation all on your site too. Honors, awards, and accomplishments. This is a section too that I didn't fill on the other one, but it's important to do so because it actually shows that you've did something good where you were at. Interests is stuff that I've put in here. People, places, things, okay? And that sort of thing. All right. Okay, I'm going to sign out of this, and I hope this has been helpful. The next time we meet, I'm going to go over blogging. I'm going to go over contacts, loading contacts. I'm going to go over recruiter settings and much more. There's a whole bunch of more stuff that we are going to cover in LinkedIn's part 2, job searching, endorsements, all of that kind of stuff. So take care. Have a great night. Have a great day, whatever it happens to be for you. And I will see you. Bye-bye. Okay, if you have any questions about today's webinar, this is the email address you can contact me at. And I will leave this up for a moment. If you have any other questions, this is a phone number you can call. All right, have a great time and best of luck with you with regards to LinkedIn. Bye-bye.